Go.
Hi guys, it's Shelly, and I am making some food for tomorrow, and it's one of my favorite things that I cook, and so I decided last minute that I will show you how to cook it if you want. So first I'll show you the things that I use, or the ingredients for it. So if my lovely cameraman would step forward. This is a sweet potato or a yam. It's a fresh one. I already cut one of them up, but I'll show you how I cut this one. So I use 2 sweet potatoes. I use a large can of black beans and a large can of garbanzo beans. This is the sauce for it. It is, I bought this at like a health food store, but I'm sure you could find it in other grocery stores, or if you want to use a different sauce, I'm sure they sell one. This is tikka masala curry. You can see it there. The brand is Patax, or Patak. I don't really know how you say that. This one's a little bit spicy, but it's really delicious. It's like an Indian curry. So David and I both really like that, even though it makes our noses run a little bit. And then I buy the light coconut milk to mix in with the sauce when I put everything in the pot together. So it's just a really yummy flavor. There's like regular coconut milk, and then there's light. I just buy the light because obviously it has less fat and less calories or whatever, you know. So, alright, now I'm going to show you how to cut the sweet potato, which can be like the trickiest part because first we're going to roast the sweet potatoes. Well, we're going to cut them and then roast them. And so I cut them in a specific way so that they roast evenly. So I take the sweet potato and I'll have it. Oh, that one went really easy. Usually it's not that easy. I have to like to get through it. Okay, and then I'll take this one and then I'll start cutting it into segments lengthwise. So there's one. And I'd say that this is probably like a 1-inch wide segment. And then in order to get this one in a cube, also I'll just cut, that's mostly just skin, so I'll just throw that away. Alright, and then you have these parts, and I don't, and I'm going to cut them in another 1-inch segment. I don't peel them. Personally, it just doesn't bother me. And then we're going to cut them so that they're a 1-inch cube, this way. And if they're all not exactly the same size, it's not a big deal, but you want them to be generally the same size so that they will cook evenly. Let me get this one done, so we'll cut it like that, and then little cubes. Alright, and I'm not done cutting all of them, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to season them so I don't waste a lot of time. So, the only things that I really use is cinnamon powder. This might sound weird, like on a sweet potato that's going to be like in a savory dish, but it's actually really delicious, and so you can be pretty liberal with the sweet potatoes. And other than that, I just bake them dry. I do put a little bit of olive oil spray in the base of the pan, but it doesn't really need any like oil to coat the potatoes themselves. I just put a tiny bit on the bottom so that they don't, you know, stick. So at this point, if they're all covered with the cinnamon, you will put them into your oven, which you have preheated to 375 for 30 to 45 minutes. You have to check on them to see their tenderness, and that's the first step. Okay, now I'm going to start cooking the beans, and when the potatoes have been cooked, sweet potatoes have been cooking for around 20 minutes, I will usually start simmering the beans, and today I'm going to use this big pot. You don't need one this big, I just have one, and so I like to use it so I'm not worried about overfilling the pot. So I open this can of garbanzo beans, I drained them and rinsed them, and I'll put them in. And then I couldn't get the black beans back in the can, but I drained them and rinsed them, and I'm going to put those in there. And then now I'm going to put in the curry sauce, and I put the whole jar in there. And just to make sure that I get all of it, I'll put some water in the jar. Shake it up. I don't like to waste any of the sauce because it tastes so good. And so that goes in. And then also I'm going to put in the coconut milk, which I forgot to open this, so I'm going to open it real quick. Spills. The light one is usually thinner. If you buy the like full flavor one, it'll sometimes be like, it'll have a solid consistency, so you'll have to stir a little bit. So I put in the coconut milk. Alright, and then I'm just going to stir it together and put it on medium heat. Oh, sorry, that's not the one I want. So you want to make sure that you get the sauce all over so it combines. Alright, and that's what it looks like, and I'll let it simmer until the potatoes are done. Alright, so the sweet potatoes just got done, and I took them out of the oven, and I'm going to take the lid off of here and stir this around. You can look at, I don't know what it looks like, mostly the same. So the beans have been simmering in the sauce for about 25 minutes, and I cooked the potatoes for 40 minutes. So now what you can do is get your spoon. Where's that spoon? A spoon if you want, and you can either put these in a bowl like this, put them as the base, and then I guess I can take this over here and take the sauce and beans and place over top like that, and then add more sauce to it if you want. That's one way that we do it. Another way is sometimes I'll put spinach on the bottom, raw spinach, and then put this on top of it. And sometimes I make it with chicken, and so I'll just like put chicken on the George Foreman and then add the chicken on top of this. So yeah, I made all this so that I'm going to puree it because tomorrow I'm on pureed foods. But I'm only going to puree one serving at a time so that I'll have food in a couple of days too that isn't pureed. So that's that. You can you don't have to stand there either because I'm gonna, that's not gonna come for a long time. We have to wait like 45 minutes or whatever.
Okay.